Alright, coming in at number 27, we have the MAC-10. This is the worst SMG on our list. Seriously, there's not much good to say about it except for one thing, but we'll cover everything just for kicks. It has 10 meters of 5-shot kills and 19 meters of 6-shot kills. The BSA is terrible, but it just barely works for that 19-meter range. The mag size and reload are pretty much the same as the Fennec, with 43 bullets in a 1-second reload. But here's the one thing it's got going for it, the strafe speed. It's insanely fast at 4.96 meters per second, the fastest on this list. By a tiny margin, yeah, but still the fastest. Other than that, it's just bad. Don't use it. Coming in at number 26, we have the Pharaoh. Honestly, it wouldn't be that bad if it weren't for its crazy recoil. It can one burst kill up to 22 meters, and within 14 meters, we only need to land 3 out of the 4 shots in the burst to get a kill. Mobility wise, it's pretty slow. It has a strafe speed of 3.5 meters per second, which is the second lowest on the list, only faster than the HG40, which is basically an AR anyway. The burst interval is super long too, making it feel like forever between bursts. And as I mentioned, the recoil is all over the place. It can go left or right at the start of each burst, making it impossible to predict and really hard to use after about 15 meters. But here's the fun part, the taser attachment. It's basically a one-shot kill up close. We can't spam it, obviously, but we can shoot right after tasing someone, which can definitely save us in a pinch. At number 25, we have the KSP-45, another burst weapon. Now, I could tell you about its one burst kill potential out to 13 meters, or how it needs 2 bursts after that. I could even mention its awesome 4.8 meters per second strafe speed, but here's the problem. It's super hard to use effectively because of its fire rate. First, the time between shots in the burst is 84 milliseconds, which isn't very fast. Second, the time between bursts is 155 milliseconds, which is also pretty slow. So, even though it looks good on paper, it's only really effective within 30 meters. After that, hitting our shots is a real struggle because of that slow fire rate. Coming in at number 24, it's the RUS-79U. It's not terrible, but it's not amazing either. We've got 25 meters of 4-shot kills. It's a consistent 4-shot kill up to 12.5 meters, and then it's possible to get a 4-shot kill further out, which is actually pretty easy to do. After that, the damage drops off, but that's not what this gun is for anyway. The bullet spread is decent throughout that 4-shot kill range, so we're good there. The fire rate is kind of in the middle. Not too ammo hungry, but fast enough that missing a shot isn't a huge deal. The mobility is pretty good overall, especially the strafe speed and ADS time. The hipfire isn't great, but with decent movement speed, a large mag, and about 3.5 meters of somewhat accurate hipfire BSA, it might work in certain situations. Lastly, it has a 50-round mag, which is nice, but the reload time is pretty slow at 1.58 seconds, so keep that in mind. At number 23, it's the ISO, and honestly, it's a bit of a letdown. This gun could easily be top 15, maybe even top 10 with just a couple of buffs. It has 12 meters of 4-shot kills with its 880 RPM, which isn't bad. Then we have 22 meters of 5-shot kills. Still decent. So where does it go wrong? Pretty much everywhere else. The BSA is supposed to be okay up to 25 meters, but that's if we're not using a red dot sight instead of the granulated grip tape, which we are because the iron sights are terrible. The mobility isn't great either with a 3.9 meters per second strafe speed and 6.5 meters per second sprint speed. Thankfully, the ADS time is decent at 207 milliseconds. The mag size and reload are okay with 50 bullets in a 1.3 second reload. But the recoil is a bit rough, and those iron sights are just awful. I was basically forced to build this gun without an optic because otherwise, we lose out on mobility, range, BSA, or mag size. So, yeah, not ideal. Overall, it's not a terrible gun, but it's not exactly fun to use either, unless you've got a sweet skin to make it look better. Wow, talk about a fall from grace. The CBR4 at 22 went from being the top dog for over 2 years to the 5th worst SMG. That's a huge drop, and here's why. It's only got a good time to kill up to 13 meters, where it can 4-shot kill in 225 milliseconds. It can sometimes 4-shot kill up to 20 meters, but that's about it. And for a supposed flex SMG, the mobility is pretty disappointing. It's not terrible, but it's not good enough compared to other SMGs with similar range. Overall, the CBR4 just doesn't cut it anymore. It's a shame, but it's true. At number 21, we have the Striker 45. Remember how the GKS has a pretty bad recoil? Well, the Striker 45 is even worse. It has similar range to the GKS, with 20 meters of 3-shot kills and way better mobility, especially with that 4.7 meters per second strafe speed. But that awful recoil pattern makes it a real pain to use. If you've ever tried to grind gold camo with this thing, you know how hard it is to land those headshots. The mag stats are pretty good with a 45 round mag and a 1.1 second reload. Honestly, if it weren't for the recoil, this wouldn't be a bad gun, but that recoil is just too much to ignore. Number 20, the HG40. We used a fancy program to rank the mobility stats on this one, but since it's basically an AR, disguised as an SMG, it got wrecked by our criteria. This gun has 29 meters of 4-shot kills, but it can actually 3-tap within 22 meters if we land a headshot. That feels pretty awesome when it happens, bringing the time to kill down to a sweet 180 milliseconds. After that, it's 5-shot kills out to 36 meters, which is a bit slow. But again, one headshot turns that into a 4-shot kill, making the time to kill much better. The BSA is solid, so no worries there. The mobility is definitely on the slower side, and so is the fire rate. But here's the cool thing. It has 40 bullets and a super fast reload time, making it great for racking up those multi-kills. At the 19th spot, we have the Chikum. And I'm not messing around when I say this is the second best burst SMG. Wanna know why? First off, it has 30 meters of 1 burst kills, with a 75 millisecond fire interval within the burst, which is decent. Then it's got 30 meters of 5-shot kills, which is basically 2 bursts with 1 missed shot in the middle. And since the burst interval is 140 milliseconds, a bit faster than the KSP, it's easier to use effectively. Plus, unlike those other burst guns, the Chikum has a huge mag with 51 bullets, so we can get a ton of bursts out of it. Now, I won't bore you with all the stats because burst weapons are all about how they feel in the game. And practically speaking, the Chikum is pretty solid. It has a clean iron sight, the recoil resets between bursts, and it's not random like the Pharaoh. The ADS speed is quick, and the headshot multiplier is so crazy that we can even get 2-shot kills if we aim high. Overall, it's a fun gun to use. Not the absolute best burst weapon, but definitely my go-to for a good time. Taking the 18th spot is the P41. This one's a bit of a head scratcher to analyze. Why? Because on paper, it has the range of a Krig 6, with an infinite 5-shot kill if we hit the upper body. But in reality, it's not that great. We have 15 meters of 4-shot kills, followed by 22 meters of consistent 5-shot kills. After that, it's either a 6-shot kill or a 5-shot kill if we avoid the legs. But the BSA is terrible, only good up to 24 meters. The mobility is mostly average or slow, except for the 177 millisecond ADS time. So what makes it good then? Well, it has a massive 65 round mag and reloads in 1.2 seconds. But that's not the best part. The best part is that this gun is amazing for hip firing. Even though the hip fire BSA isn't incredible, we have 65 bullets, fast movement speed, and decent hip fire accuracy, so we can basically hip fire like we're using a Fennec. And honestly, that's for the best, because if we try to ADS with this thing, we'll see what a truly awful recoil pattern looks like. It's one of the worst in the game. Overall, it's only good within 22 meters. After that, you're totally cooked. Not even cooked, you're burnt. Number 17 goes to the MX9. This gun used to be the most dominant weapon we've had in the game back in late 2021, but now it's sadly one of the worst close-range SMGs. It has 18 meters of 4-shot kills, and after that, the damage falls off hard, so it's not even worth trying to fight at longer ranges. The BSA isn't a problem though, since its effective range is so limited. What saves it a bit is the mobility. It has the second fastest race speed of all the SMGs in this ranking at 4.95 meters per second, which is only slightly slower than a DLQ's sprint speed. Sprint speed! The MX9 sprint speed and ADS time are also pretty quick, so it's good for rushing. The mag size is a bit of a bummer with only 35 bullets, but thankfully the reload time is fast at 1.17 seconds. Overall, it's not a great choice in the close-range SMG category, but it's not the worst either. At number 16, the MSMC. It's not a bad gun, but there are just so many other great options in the close quarters SMG category. We have 12 meters of 4-shot kills, followed by 22 meters of 5-shot kills. The BSA is solid, so no problems there. The mobility is pretty good overall, except for the flinch, which could be a bit lower. The mag size and reload are pretty standard for a close-range SMG, with 40 bullets and a 1.3 second reload. But with a fast fire rate, that mag empties in just 2.5 seconds, forcing us to reload every couple of gunfights. Overall, it's not a bad choice, but there are better close-range SMGs out there. Still, it's a decent off-meta pick that might surprise you. Moving on to number 15, the Lapa. This is one of the most niche weapons in the game. It gives us 20 meters of 4-shot kills, and it really shines with its strafe speed, clocking in at a blazing 4.8 meters per second. Plus, it's got a pretty quick sprint speed at 6.6 meters per second. The mag stats are decent too, with 40 rounds in a 1.1 second reload. The recoil is easy to handle, and if it weren't for those kinda clunky iron sights, it would be super easy to use. Overall, it's not usable past 20 meters because of the low bullet velocity, but within that 20-meter range, it's definitely fun and effective. At number 14, the Cordite. Picture this, the Holger, but with the mobility of a PDW-57. That's the Cordite in a nutshell. It has a consistent 4-shot kill out to 13 meters, a potential 4-shot kill out to 26 meters, and then 5-shot kills up to 36 meters. The BSA is good up to 35 meters, so no worries there. But here's the kicker. It's got that PDW-like mobility, so it's super fast. And where the Cordite really shines is the magazine. We're talking 80 rounds with a 1.6 second reload time. That's a ton of ammo, and the fire rate isn't even crazy fast. It's 800 RPM, same as the CBR4. One important thing to note, the leg multiplier is brutal, so try to avoid hitting those leg shots as much as possible. That's important for most SMGs, but it's especially crucial with the Cordite. Getting the 13th place is the Switchblade X9. This one might be a bit higher than you'd expect, but that's because we're assuming you can hit those upper body shots a bit more consistently than the average player. The Switchblade has 12 meters of consistent 4-shot kills, followed by 21 meters of 5-shot kills. There's a small chance for a 4-shot kill at that longer range, but don't count on it unless you land a headshot. The BSA is solid up to 21 meters, so no worries there. The mobility is decent, nothing crazy but pretty average for a close-range SMG. We're looking at 4.3 meters per second strafe speed and 6.6 meters per second sprint speed. But what makes this gun really enjoyable is the overall handling, including the mag stats. We have 41 bullets with a 1.2 second reload, a clean and steady iron sight, and super smooth recoil. It's kinda like the Grau 5.56 in that way. The stats aren't mind-blowing, but it smells better than the Grau, and its strength lies in how easy it is to use. So if you're not the best at recoil control, the Switchblade is a great option. Number 12, the Tech 9. This is a burst weapon, so it definitely takes some skill, but honestly, it feels like the best one out there. We can 1-burst kill up to 7 meters, and then it's a 2-burst kill at any range after that. It's a 4-shot kill up to 18 meters, then it's a 6-shot kill beyond that. The strafe speed is pretty quick at 4.3 meters per second, and the sprint speed and ADS time are decent. But what really makes this burst gun shine is how fast it fires those bursts. With only 16 milliseconds between shots in a burst, it's the fastest firing burst weapon, making it super easy to use. It also has the only recoil that goes straight up. Even though it climbs and doesn't reset after each burst like the KSP or Chickum, it's still easy to control. If you're a burst weapon fan, you definitely need to try this one out. At number 11, the Razorback. This SMG is seriously underrated. It's a real contender in the SMG category. We're talking 10 meters of 3-shot kills, followed by 41 meters of 4-shot kills. It's not always a 4-shot kill up to 41 meters, but it is up to 20 meters. The BSA is probably the biggest weakness here, being accurate enough only up to around 28 meters. Mobility is mostly average, except for the strafe speed, which is crazy fast at 4.46 meters per second. That's basically the same as the PDW-57. The max stats are pretty good too, with 42 bullets and a 1.39 second reload. 42 bullets might not sound like a lot, but with a fire rate of 700 RPM, the mag lasts a while. That's about the same fire rate as a Kilo 141, so it's not super fast. That slower fire rate can be a bit of a problem in close quarters fights, but overall, it's a fun gun to use, and you should definitely give it a try if you haven't already. Breaking into the top 10, the GKS. To be honest, the rankings got shaken up a bit because of the new USS-9, and since the GKS is basically a worse version of it, it took a hit. We have 24 meters of 3-shot kills, with the first 40 meters being a guaranteed 3-tap. After that, it's 4-shot kills out to 50 meters, but the recoil and BSA make it tough to use at that range. We're realistically limited to about 35 meters for accurate shooting. The mobility is kind of in the middle, leaning towards the slower side. Time is particularly slow at 268 milliseconds, but we can make up for that by pre-aiming. The mag stats are standard, with 40 bullets and a 1.35 second reload. Now, because of the low fire rate, the mag doesn't empty too quickly, but that's also a weakness. Since the fire rate is so slow, close range fights can be tricky. Missing a shot is more likely and hurts a lot more. It's not a bad gun, but the USS-9 is basically the same but better, so I'd rather use that. At the 9th place, the AGR 5.56. I know some of you might be scratching your heads about this one, and honestly, I was too at first, but then I look at the stats, hopped into a game, and remembered why I put it so high. First off, the range. It's easy to remember, 34 meters for 4-shot kills, which is basically the same as a Kilo 141 or a Type 19. Then it's 51 meters for 5-shot kills, again, similar to the Kilo and Type 19. You might think the BSA is bad, but it's actually pretty good, almost as good as the LK24, giving us 54 meters of accurate shots. So is it a mobility issue? Nope. We've got 6.4 meters per second sprint speed, 4.3 meters per second strafe speed, and a 252 millisecond ADS time. That's pretty good for an SMG, and for one with such mobility, it's actually insane. Now you're probably thinking it must be the mag size or the handling. Well, it's not the mag size. Even though we have a slow reload time of 1.9 seconds, we also have 60 bullets, which means we can fire for 5 seconds straight. The problem is the handling, specifically the recoil and the iron sights. The iron sight is shaky like the Krig 6, and the recoil pattern is an S-shape, making it tough to use at mid-range. If it weren't for that, this would be the best flex SMG in the game, hands down. So it's kind of like the Peacekeeper MK2. It's the best hard to use flex SMG. If you can master that recoil though, it's a beast. Coming in hot at number 8, we got the PDW-57. It's been overshadowed lately, first by the BP-50 and now by the USS-9, which is why it's a bit lower on the list. But don't cut it out just yet. It has 26 meters of 4-shot kills with a really good BSA for that range. But that's not the main reason people use it. It's all about mobility. This thing is fast and it's super easy to use. 50 bullets with a 1.6 second reload, no recoil, a clean iron sight, and a fire rate that's just right. Not too fast, not too slow. Overall, it's a really solid flex SMG and it's incredibly user-friendly. Compared to the RUS-79U, which has similar stats, the PDW-57's better BSA makes it feel more precise and less random, even though both guns have decent BSA for their effective range. Number 7, the QXR. This one isn't that hard to use, but it is hard to master. It technically has 32 meters of 5-shot kills, but under 12 meters, we can actually score a 4-shot kill if we avoid hitting the legs. Between 18 and 32 meters, those 5-shot kills depend on whether we hit 0 or 1 leg shot, which can be tricky because of the recoil, flinch, and BSA. Speaking of BSA, it's not great, only giving us 28 meters of accurate shots. The mobility is generally pretty low or average for a gun with this range. The only standout stat is the ADS time, which is a quick 206 milliseconds. The mag stats aren't impressive either, with 40 bullets and a 1.47 second reload. 40 bullets with 1000 RPM isn't much, especially with that slow reload. Overall, the QXR looks good on paper, but it's definitely more challenging to use in actual matches. At 6th place, the OTS-9. This is the best medium fire rate close quarters SMG right now. Think of it as a Switchblade X9 on steroids. It has 22 meters of 4-shot kills with a pretty good BSA up to 30 meters, but it does have a visible laser, unfortunately. The mobility is solid with a 230 millisecond ADS time, 6.45 meters per second sprint speed, and a 4.2 meters per second strafe speed. The mag stats are a little worse than the Switchblade, with 40 bullets and a 1.4 second reload, but it's usually not a problem. The recoil pattern might look a bit rough on paper, but in practice, it's totally manageable after a few games. And the iron sights are clean too. Overall, besides the visible laser, which isn't a big deal unless we're playing high elo ranked or scrims, this gun has no major flaws. Give it a try. On our top 5, we have the PP-19 Bison. This is the definition of easy to use in COD Mobile. We're talking 10 meters of 3-tap kills, followed by 36 meters of 4-shot kills. The BSA is good up to around 40 meters, so no complaints there. The mobility is basically the same as the PDW, with a 235 millisecond ADS time, 4.45 meters per second strafe speed, and 6.4 meters per second sprint speed. The max stats are awesome too, 64 bullets with a 1.2 second reload time. That's crazy good. And the recoil? Non-existent. The iron sights? Clean and steady. The only downside? The fire rate. It's a bit slow at 650 RPM, which means missing shots hurts a bit more. But that also means the mag lasts forever, making it feel even bigger than a Cordight's 80 round mag. Overall, this is the best easy to use flex SMG. Think of it as the Type 19 of flex SMGs, while the AGR-5F6 is like the Peacekeeper MK2 in this category. You get the idea. Taking the number 4 spot, the QQ9 with the 10mm mag. This is one of the few guns that didn't get completely wrecked by the arrival of the USS-9. Its strength is its awesome time to kill in close range, while still having a decent time to kill further out. We're talking a blazing fast 158 millisecond time to kill up to 16 meters, which is what we'll be getting most of the time at that range. Then up to 24 meters, we have a solid 237 millisecond time to kill for a 4-shot kill. The BSA is good up to 30 meters, so we're golden within that 24 meter effective range. Mobility wise, it's mostly on the faster side. The ADS time is super quick at 206 milliseconds, and the sprint speed is great at 6.6 meters per second. The strafe speed is a little lower than we'd like at 4.1 meters per second, but it's still pretty darn good. The mag stats used to be terrible because of the slow reload, but thankfully it got buffed. Now we have 30 bullets with a 1.2 second reload, which is usually fine. I say usually because with this gun, we'll be running around like crazy, and we might run out of bullets in those hectic situations. For third place, the CX-9. Think of this as Fennec 2.0. They have really similar stats, to be honest. The CX-9 offers 13 meters of 5-shot kills with a small chance for a 4-shot kill. But don't get your hopes up because we need to land 2 out of 4 shots to the stomach or chest, which is tough with all the movement in close quarters combat. After that, it's 6-shot kills out to 23 meters. The mobility is pretty much the same as the Fennec, maybe a little faster, with a 3.8 meters per second strafe speed, 6.6 meters per second sprint speed, and a 230 millisecond ADS time. The mag stats are a bit different though. Instead of 40 bullets and a 1 second reload, we have 50 bullets and a 1.3 second reload. It's really just a matter of preference. But here's the big difference, the handling. We're using a red dot sight, just like on the Fennec, but it's way more stable. And the CX-9 has much less recoil than the Fennec, making it the easy to use fast firing SMG, while the Fennec is the harder to control option. At the second place, the Fennec. We'll admit we're quite sad it's not number 1 because it's our favorite gun, but hey, it's still the best close quarters SMG in the game, so we can't complain too much. We have 15 meters of 5-shot kills, with a small chance for a 4-shot kill if we hit the head and chest, but I wouldn't bet on it. After that, it's 6-shot kills out to 23 meters, which might not sound amazing, but that translates to 270 milliseconds because of the insanely fast fire rate. The BSA is solid and the hipfire BSA is good enough to save us up to about 4 meters, so we definitely want to hipfire spam up close. Mobility is a mixed bag. The sprint speed is fast at 6.6 meters per second, but the strafe speed is one of the slowest at 3.66 meters per second. That's because we're using attachments to make the gun more stable, which hurts our strafe speed and ADS time. Speaking of which, the ADS time is pretty slow at 246 milliseconds. The mag stats look decent with 40 bullets and a 1 second reload, but we burned through that mag in 2.1 seconds, so we'll be reloading a lot. But that super fast fire rate also means that hip firing and missing shots aren't a big deal. Overall, the Fennec is the best close quarters SMG if we can control its recoil, and it's definitely our favorite. And finally, the number 1 SMG, the USS-9. This brand new weapon is the best SMG in the game right now. It's simply the best 3-tap gun, even compared to the 3-tap ARs. We're talking 28 meters of consistent 3-shot kills, followed by 55 meters of 4-shot kills. The BSA is accurate enough up to about 44 meters, which is pretty good, even though it doesn't quite cover the entire 4-shot kill range. The mobility is decent, with 6.4 meters per second sprint speed, 3.9 meters per second strafe speed, and a 224 millisecond ADS time. Where it might be a bit lacking is the mag size. It only has 32 bullets. Even though it's 32 bullets with a 600 RPM fire rate, meaning we can fire for 3 seconds straight, it's still not a lot, but thankfully we have a 1 second reload time, so ammo management isn't a huge issue. Now for the recoil. Like most of the new guns we've seen lately, there's not much to it. And compared to all the other 3-tap guns like the DRH, AK-47, or even the GKS and Striker 45 in the SMG category, it has the smoothest and easiest recoil to control. This makes it both the most versatile 3-tap gun and the easiest to use. The only real downside is the fire rate. Having a 600 RPM SMG means you might lose a few more close range fights compared to a Fennec because missing shots hurts more. But other than that, it's simply the best. It's funny actually, it's like the 3rd best close range SMG while also being the best flex SMG in the game. That shows just how versatile this weapon is. So just like we usually say, use the BP50. For all you SMG mains out there, use the USS-9. That's it for the SMGs. If you're curious about the worst and best snipers in COD Mobile right now, check out the video on the left.